everybody. As promised, I'm going to be showing you guys how to do the signs for the numbers. See, what I did was just took all the fingers that I count with, bring them together, numbers. Quick warning, numbers 0 through 999 are all signed on one hand. So, just letting you know, it's easy to start off and it starts to get hard. So, this is 0. Make an O. Just shake it around a little bit. Quick tip, if you get 2 of them, or cross them over each other, it either means none or nothing. Just think of putting 0 into words. Nothing. This is 1. Pretty simple, just put one finger up and just make sure your hand is in a fist and it's not like you're doing this, because this is D. This is D. So make sure your hand is in a fist. And make sure your hand's not in a super tight fist, because if you're doing all of your signs and you're straining your fingers each time, it's going to hurt, it's going to cramp, and you're not going to be able to sign that much. So, this is 1. This is 2. I know it looks like a V, but keep in mind that if someone is, for instance, telling you their name, Valerie, it looks like a 2, but it's a V. They're spelling their name. If you see them finger spelling anything, just know that if something looks like a number, it's probably not. Which is why the number 3 is like this and not like this. This is a W. It makes it so much easier to distinguish between 3 and W when it's like this, which is why it's like this. This is number 3. Again, doesn't matter which way it's facing, and the reason I point that out is because for some numbers it does matter which part of your hand is facing outward. So, number 4 still doesn't matter, and the same thing with 5. Now here's where it gets tricky. This is 6. Your palm has to be outward so they can see that these 2 fingers are touching, because these 2 are the important fingers here. And then it goes 7, 8, 9, 10. One more time. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You should shake your thumb twice. 1, 2. Okay? Now, 11, have the back of your hand facing the person you're talking to. Just move your finger up and down a couple of times. 1, 2. 11, same thing for 12. Same for 13. I've seen some people do this, but the way that I've seen it the most is just move these 2 fingers up. With 14, you do this. I've seen some people have their fingers open, but as far as I know, this is considered the proper way to do it. So, 14. And then with 15, it's the same thing, just make sure that your thumb is out. 15. And then with 16, you do the 6, but you shake it like this, twice. 1, 2. Or you could do it 3 times. You're going to see small children who sign do it a bunch of times, simply because children tend to do things more repetitively. This is 17, of course. 18. 19. And then with 20, you get these 2 fingers and have them out and pinch them inward. Pinch them inward. I'm not sure exactly the reason why it isn't these 2 fingers and pinch them inward, but my theory is that if you were to use these 2, it would look like you're trying to use your thumb. Because if you use your thumb like this and pinch them in, this is 30. Pinch them in into a 0 like this, this would be 30. So, 20, 21, and then with 22, or all the double-digit numbers, you just tap them twice like this. So 22, 33, 44, 55, 66, 77, 88, 99. Okay, so that leaves us on 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, as I showed you before. So, you do pretty much the same pattern with all the numbers up until you get to the 60s through 90s, because usually what they do for those is they'll tap it from one side to the other. And which direction you go in depends on which number is bigger. So, if I were doing 67, the 6 would be on the outside, and the 7 would be closer to the inside, because really you're putting the bigger number towards yourself. 67. So, 78. See, I messed up there. I'm still making mistakes because I'm still learning, but 78, 82. So, the pattern follows suit. Of course, whenever you're doing the whichever number it is with a 0, like for instance 90, you do still pull that in for the 0. But with like 91, 92, 93, as far as I know, I could be wrong. If I find out later on that I'm wrong about literally anything I'm teaching, I will definitely go back and make another video correcting my mistakes, because as I said before, and as I will always say, I'm doing these videos as I'm learning. So once I fully understand something, or think I fully understand it, I'm going to try and teach it to other people. But anyway, whenever you get to 100, you make a 1 and one big 0. I know it looks like a C, but I like to think of it as one big 0. Pulling it back into one big 0. So, in English, usually we say 101, for instance, but we don't say the word and when we're signing numbers. We just do it. It's 101 or 132. 533. Just to give you some examples. Whenever you get to 1,000, you do this and touch it down here. 6,000, 8,000, 9,000. So, for example, you would do 8,599. Okay? Or 3,020. This is not 20. 28. 3,028. So, let's see, what else? If you want to go past 1,000 and you want to do one, you could say 100,000 and whatever. But if you want to do 1,000,000, you tap this twice after the number. So 1,000,000. What I see a lot of people do is move forward each time the number is supposed to get bigger. So it'd be like 1,000,000 or 1,000,000,000 for 3 taps. But since you kind of run out of room on your hands. I've seen some people just sign in the same spot and they just make sure to tap it the correct amount of times. So for 1 trillion, 1,000, 1 million, 1 billion, 1 trillion. So, some people, instead of doing all of this, some people just fingerspell the abbreviation. So like 1 trillion, 6 billion, just BILL. Quick fingerspelling tip while I'm doing this. I probably should have said that in my last video, but whenever you're fingerspelling, make sure not to bounce your hand up and down with each letter. Don't do 1 billion. Also, whenever you're doing a double letter, usually people will move it just a little bit to the side, but don't do like a big old difference, you know? Just a small difference right here to make sure that their eyes don't have to move back and forth or up and down for every single thing you're doing. Because you want the person to really be looking at you. Not every single thing that your hands are doing all the way out here. So, 5 million. Another quick thing, I have seen some people who just do this if they're doing 2 M's, or do this for 2 N's. Instead of moving it, they just make sure it looks like they're signing it twice. However, as far as I know, the proper way to do it with all the letters is to just move it a little bit to the side. So, that's all I really need to cover for the numbers. Please watch this video several times until you understand how to do it. Sign a bunch of random numbers. And I want to make sure that by the time you get to your next video, you can fingerspell your name and perhaps sign whatever number you want. So, in the next video, I will be doing conversation starters. So you can say stuff like, hi, how are you? What's your name? So, don't know exactly when I'll do it, but get ready because I'll surprise you guys. Bye!